Welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Today I've got a couple of new items to show you, some Christmas stockings that I've been working on. These are not full size stockings. These are small stockings. They're about 6 inches tall from the top here of the lace to the bottom of the toe, maybe a little 6.5. And these are stuffed and scented. Now all the white ones, I have 5 white ones, they are scented with cinnamon spice, and all of the coffee dyed ones are scented with pumpkin spice, and they all smell wonderful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little demonstration on how I made them. They're very easy to do, and so I'm going to put also the pattern is going to be in my Facebook group, and it will be free. So I will leave a link below, and you can enlarge these or decrease these, whatever you want to do. You can make it a full size if you want to. But these are great gifts for people that you don't know what to get, and they're also great for yourself if you can make them yourself. They're wonderful. I made 9 of them in 2 days. So they really, the hardest part I think is decorating them. These coffee dyed ones, I took the images from my Victorian Christmas living room collection. I have, I think, 4 or 5 trees in that collection with gifts. I printed them on fabric, and then I attached them to the front of the stocking. I also use buttons and all kinds of applique, little bits and pieces, stuff you might have laying around. And then this is coffee dyed ruffle, coffee dyed muslin with a bow and a button. And then, well, that didn't look too good there, but it's part of the coffee dyeing process. So, and they smell wonderful. Oh, I love the pumpkin spice. And for the white ones, I used this ruffle on all the white ones, and I used this ruffle on all the coffee dyed ones. I just used applique, and you don't need a lot, and around the back, and ruffle. And these all have a little loop on the back so that they can be hung on a tree, or they could be hung somewhere else as a decoration. Then I used lace and organza ribbon, and I tied them at the same time to make them a double bow, and glued them on. And I kind of glued it on sideways so that it's not directly straight up and down. I think you can see it better with this one. More sideways so that the tails come out and you can see more of the stocking, and the bow doesn't take over the stocking. So that's that one. And this is one that was just simply with a red flower, how pretty it looks. And this is all white, bridal applique, more of this ruffle on the back, your loop bows. These are available in my Etsy shop. I'm only got 9 of them. I don't know if I'll be making any more. They were pretty time consuming simply because I had so many of them, and to decorate them is kind of, well, you know, it takes a while to decide, make up your mind. This is sari silk on the side, and instead of framing the tree, I just went right down the middle to the toe, and then I put buttons there, which I thought was okay. And this is one of the trees in my collection. And this one, I have All Hearts Come Home for Christmas. And what I did was I printed this out in my graphic program. I made this in my graphic program. Then I printed it on fabric, and I sewed it on the front of the stocking before I sewed the stocking together. I'm going to tell you and give you a little demonstration of how I did these. And here's a bow with some netting and lace and a fabric flower, and your lace and your hook. So, and this one, I love this one. This came off of a little girl's dress. This was the bottom of the dress. It was organza. And I glued that on there at the top because I didn't want it to ravel. And sewing it, hand sewing, I didn't think was a good idea. So, but I did cut out these flowers from that rest of the organza, and I used Eileen's tacky glue to glue it on and it keeps the edges from raveling, and it dries nice and clear, and you really can't tell it's glued on there. You think it was sewn on there. And then this flower came from the same dress. It was on her waist, and then I just added some hanging beads, and again lace and organza ribbon, organza ruffle, and a hanger, and there you go. And it's scented with cinnamon spice. And this is another tree one that I did with the sari silk and the buttons. These are my favorite, actually. I think they look very vintage and very unique. And then this one, this one was on a white, but I think because of the lace that I put on it, it kind of gives it a vintage look. And that's what I wanted, because I put, this is an antique doll, one of my graphics from my antique doll collection. So if you have that collection, they're kind of cute to put on a stocking like this. And here we get more lace and organza ribbon. And actually, I did 2 organza ribbons. One is white, but it wants to hide behind the pink. But you got to pull them out and make them show and tell them what to do. And I just framed it with some lace. And then the last one, I wanted to do something a little different than the other 3. So I decided to use a green button, and I had some green applique, and I put it there. And here we go with coffee dyed wedding applique, coffee dyed ruffle that I glued on the back, and then I covered it with a muslin strip and a hanger. Now, let me show you. I also started these, and I don't know if I'm going to finish them or not. I wanted to do sachet pillows, but this is one of the prints that's in the on the stockings. Oh, and the prints, I only made them 2.5 inches long. Okay, so if you do 2.5 inch length, the width will go to the correct size. Whatever you do it evenly, and it'll work out perfect for this stocking. So I decided that I think these are too big, but they're all on fabric. I might make sachet pillows out of them, but they might be too big. I don't know. I looked at them and I don't know. I love the trees though, and I think I was tired. I didn't want to decorate anymore. So I'm going to show you a little demonstration on how I put these stockings together. Okay, first of all, you need to print out your stocking pattern and cut it out. And I have stocking number 2 on there. It won't be in the Facebook group. It'll just say, or Chris, I don't know what it'll say, but it'll say stocking pattern, because I tried 2 different styles. And I've got this from Pinterest, and it's free. So you can enlarge it if you want to make a full stocking or reduce it, whatever you want to do. But you cut it out, and then you need 2 pieces of fabric, and I used unbleached muslin, and you want to put it down. This is going to be your front. You're going to take a pencil, and you're going to just draw around it. And you want to make it kind of dark so you can see it while you're sewing. This is your sewing line. And the stitching covers it up pretty good. Then you want to take a pin them together. Then you want to cut it out and leave, like 1/4 inch seam allowance. Even though you're going to cut it later, you're going to trim it right down. Except for the top now. The top I leave about 1/2 inch so that I can turn it under, because I don't want any raw edges. So leave that 1/2 inch or more, but at least 1/2 inch so you can turn it under. It doesn't matter if it's zigzagged or not, because you're going to cut it off, like I said. Okay, so then you take it to the sewing machine, And you want to turn this under at the top line there, at the top pencil line. Just put a pin in there. Let's see if you can see. Oh, I got that right. Okay. Then I turn it around and I try to get this even to go. When you feel like you got it even, just finger press it and you can pin it. Pin them all together. Then you start at one side. I probably start at this side. Do a little back stitch. I also use a zigzag stitch and sew right on that line all the way around, until you get up to here. Do a little back stitch and then you cut your threads. And this will stay, these will stay nice for you. You don't have to sew inside. And then you cut it out and you decorate it. And that's it. And then after you're done decorating it, then you stuff it. See if I can find one. You can see how narrow the seam allowance is. Let me see. I cut close to the sewing and I use a zigzag stitch. As long as you don't cut into the stitching, you'll be good. Okay? So that's all there is to that. And I thought I would share that with you. And I hope you will, if you want to pick it up, the pattern in my Facebook group, I hope you will. Because Christmas is coming. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.